What's going on, everybody, and welcome back once again to Luke Zach Football. And before we get into today's video, I encourage you to subscribe and sack that like button because I'm uploading football videos every day, whether it's USFL videos like this one, NFL videos, Madden videos, anything football related, we cover it here on the Luke Zach Football channel. But let's begin. Today's video is going to be my post-Week 8 USFL power rankings. So, let's begin. Coming in at number 8, the Pittsburgh Maulers hold it another week. The Maulers are 1-7, and they just lost to the Generals, who I believe to be the best team, no spoiler alert, in the USFL right now. They gave the Generals a little bit of a game. The Generals were destroying them, and then the Maulers made a little bit of a push, but never really felt like they had a true shot at coming back. So, the Maulers continue to lose. So coming in at number 7, I have the Panthers falling back down to 7. Last week I put them ahead of the Gamblers, but I'm putting them back now again. They just lost to the Stars 46-24. Got blown out. That's the most points scored in a single USFL game, 46. The Stars blew them out of the water, and the Panthers just seem all around flat, and the quarterback carousel continues. They had Paxton Lynch starting this week. Coming in at number 6, I have the Gamblers moving up despite them losing 13-3. Clayton Thorson did not play. Bahar, the backup quarterback who had played a couple of snaps early in their season, played. Offense was terrible with him. As you could see, 13-3 final score. Not really an impressive win for the Bandits. And that leads us to our next spot, number 5, the Bandits. The Bandits still have a shot at making it into the playoffs. Every single team besides the Bandits and the Breakers are either clinched into the playoffs or clinched out of the playoffs. The only two teams that's future is undecided heading into these final two games is the Bandits and the Breakers. Because again, every other team is either clinched in the playoffs or clinched out of the playoffs. So it is a pivotal moment for the Bandits. The Bandits control their own destiny, but they have a couple of tough games. They play the Stallions and the Breakers. If they win both of those games, from my understanding, they are in. But both of those games are going to be tough games to win. But I won't rule it out that they can do it. They gave the Stallions a tough time the last time they played, but that was with Alex Magoo playing back when the coach was giving him such opportunities. So yeah, I mean the Bandits could get in, but I think it's gonna stay as the Breakers. Coming in at number 4, I have the Stars, who just got a blowout win over the Michigan Panthers, and now the Stars have won a couple in a row. The Stars seem to be hitting their stride. I've been saying all year long, this seems like a dark horse team to me. They're going to have to play the Generals. That's already been decided, so we'll see how that plays out when they play. They've already played earlier in the year, and they play again in the regular season, and then they'll play again in the playoffs, so it's going to be interesting. Coming in at number 3, I have the Breakers, who just had a heartbreaking loss to the Stallions, a game in which they missed an extra point and 2 field goals. But to be fair, the Stallions kicker also missed 2 field goals, but he didn't miss an extra point. So if that extra point was just made, that game may have been going to overtime. The Breakers led pretty much the entire game until the final 2 minutes. They lost the lead. Kyle Sloter is just not looking the same as he was in the beginning of the year. If I had to bet, I'd say this team does make it into the playoffs. They control their destiny as well, but we'll see how it goes. They have officially been swept by the Stallions now, and the Breakers just seem like they're one of those top teams, but they're just not on the tier yet of the Generals and the Stallions. Coming in at number 2, I have the Stallions, remaining at number 2 now for a second straight week. And again, even though they got a nice hard-fought win against the Breakers, something just doesn't seem right with this team. Their front 7 does not look right on defense, and their offensive line is shaky. I mean, if you watch that Breakers game, the whole game, Jamar Smith, the second he snaps the ball, he's running out of time. He's running for his life back there, and their front 7 is just not getting a good push. So, you just wonder, is that something that they'll be able to handle come playoff time? Now, in the playoffs, they're going to have to play teams, either the Breakers or the Bandits, and they've already proven they can win against the Breakers with these issues and the Bandits. But, can they do it again? And if they do it again, then they're going to have to deal with the Generals, which they already beat the Generals, but that was all the way back in week 1, and it was a game that the Generals controlled. And the Stallions aren't the Stallions aren't that same team anymore. There's been a drop off. It's not just who they've played. They have experienced a drop off throughout this season, and it's pretty concerning. If you are a Stallions fan, you should be concerned. And then coming in at number 1, the Generals, holding it for a second straight week, got a nice win against the Marlers. Obviously the worst team, but their defense played well. Their offense played solid. Their running game continued to succeed, and Luis Perez continued to play very efficient. He played the entire game over quarterback DeAndre Johnson. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this quarterback situation in New Jersey, but I think Luis Perez is the clear-cut number 1 quarterback there on that team, and maybe the best quarterback in the whole league. The only concern with me with the Generals is, can this team close out games? Because we've seen them over the last couple of weeks struggle to close out games against weaker teams. So if they're playing a team like the Stallions that seem to have 9 lives throughout games, if they get off to a nice start but then can't close it out, I think the Stallions, for whatever reason, can be that team that makes the Generals pay for not being able to close it out. And we saw it the first time these two teams played. So we'll see how it all plays out here for the Generals. But I think Cavante Turpin, the wide receiver for the Generals, he is the most explosive player in the USFL. Man, can he run in the open field. But comment down below what you guys think about this heading into the final 2 weeks of the regular season for the USFL. I'm looking forward to see how this all plays out. But comment down below what you guys think. And other than that, I'll see you guys next time.